this video, we are going to take a look at the redesigned Commerce Bank website and the transaction envelopes. So you can see I am on the login page and the graphics do look a little different, but the fields are all the same. So I will go ahead and log in. And once I'm logged in, you can see that the home dashboard, there's a few changes, but most of the features are still there. And there will be another video that will give you a full tour of all of the revisions to the website. But today we're just going to look at the transaction envelopes. So remember, to access your transaction envelopes, you can go over here to Quick Links and click on Create a Transaction Envelope. When this page loads, go ahead and click on the active card, and then you're now in the Create Transaction Envelope screen. So there's a few fields that you need to fill out. Again, if your first name isn't already auto-filled in here, you can type something in there. The employee last name will always be auto-filled. Don't change that. And then down here in the envelope name, this is something that you need to type each time. So remember, the standard way of typing your envelope name is either your last name that's on your card, if you have a card in your name, or a department card, or if you are a school, you can use your 3-digit site RC. So I'm working with the business card right now, and I'm going to type in the last name on my card, which is business, and then the 2-digit month and 2-digit year of the ending month of the cycle. And so I'm looking at a historical envelope right here, and so it's the July-August of 2017. So because it ends in August, my date is going to be 0817. And then I can come down here to the date range and I will choose custom. And remember, you need to type in the dates that are provided to you by the P-Card administrator. Again, those come out in the email, or there's a calendar available for that. Once I get my date range in there, then I can come down to the lower section and I'm going to click Save. But before that, I want you to know that there is still this section that says Autofill Envelope. I want you to skip that. Do not click that. Remember that this is a feature in Commerce Bank that has a little glitch. It still has not been addressed yet, so until they fix that, we are going to skip that option. So right now I'll go ahead and click Save, and that will create my envelope. When this new page loads, then you can see that I have some envelope information, and right here you can see I've got the calculated total and transactions are at 0. We always want those to have something assigned to that. We don't want them to be at zeros, so in order for us to do that, we have to put our transactions in the envelope. And we do that from right here, the In Envelope checkbox, which is at the very tippy top. If I check the top one, it's going to autofill all of our transactions. I can scroll down to the bottom and click Save. This page will then reload. It does say Transactions Successfully Saved. And when we look at our details here, we can now see that I have a dollar amount and a count of transactions that are in this envelope. If for some reason these remain 0, it's because you haven't checked the In Envelope and Saved boxes yet. So be sure to always double check that. Make sure that you have dollar amounts and a count here. Once I have that, I can come down here and we can add our receipts. So I have already scanned in my receipts and saved them to my desktop, and I'm going to click this Receipts button. Before it used to say Manage Receipts, now it just says Receipts. So I'll click that, and the dialog box will open up here. Again, I can click Browse to go and find my documents. They are on my desktop right here. And again, remember there is still the size restriction. And it tells us how much we have here. So this particular attachment is going to be okay, so I can click Upload Receipt. And when I do, it brings it down here. If you wanted to view what you have, again, just select a row to perform an action. If I click on that, it brings up my action icons to either download or delete. But this is fine the way it is, so I'm going to close this out. And then I will save one more time. All right, and now we have transactions successfully saved for one more time, which means I'm ready to submit. So I can come down here and submit this to workflow. If I click this button, it'll bring up the dialog box and you would go ahead and click confirm. I'm going to skip that particular action in this training video just because I'm working in a test site and I don't necessarily want to move this forward. But you would go ahead and click confirm, and then that would send this transaction envelope into the workflow and onto your approver. And that is what transaction envelope looks like in the newly designed Commerce Bank.